Okay guys, welcome to Module 1. In this module, our expert will be teaching you about the basic layouts and functionality of email marketing platforms. So get ready to take some notes and let's jump right in.
Alright guys, so in this lesson we're going to be covering email marketing basics, and we're going to be focusing on just one email autoresponder service. And the reason I say that is because there's tons of them out there. There's Infusionsoft, there's GetResponse, Aweber, ConvertKit, ActiveCampaign. There's so many out there. And some new ones as well. Drip, Market Hero. Every day it seems like there's a new one that comes out. And the thing is, almost all of them, despite having slightly different terminology, are going to have the same basic functionality, okay? It's almost universal. Now, a lot of them are also basically all-in-one apparatuses, okay? They're moving sort of in that direction where they handle not only your email marketing, but also everything else, landing pages, webinars, creating your forms, and e-commerce related stuff, literally everything you could possibly think of. Since this course is about email marketing, we're just going to focus on those main categories having to do with email, okay? And what we're going to be doing in this lesson is covering contacts, email marketing, which is divided into autoresponders and newsletters, and automation. Once again, all of the terminology that you see here might be a little bit different depending on what autoresponder you're utilizing. However, the functionality and the concepts are all the same, and you won't have any trouble figuring out how this sort of correlates to what you're using. So to start our little tour, we're going to come over here to contacts. Now, contacts, again, we talked about terminology. Depending on what autoresponder system you're going to be using, sometimes it's called subscribers. Drip, a relatively new email marketing platform, has just come out with a new theme of their own where they don't use either of those words anymore. Now it's called people, but you get the idea, and you'll be able to figure it out pretty clearly. So what we have here are all of our email lists. Under our contact lists section, email lists, and this is how we sort of subdivide and segment all of our subscribers into different audiences based on what funnel they came through or what group they belong to, okay? So here we can either browse our contacts by drilling down into the different lists, or we can actually just search by name. So for example, right here, what we'll get is results, not only the emails and names, but also the lists that they belong to. So it's pretty easy to find a specific contact if you are, in fact, looking for a specific one. Let's talk about list hygiene. This is an important one here. List hygiene, the concept of list hygiene is basically having low-quality contacts on your list, contacts who don't open your emails or send you to the spam folder or that sort of thing. Actually, that hurts your deliverability. So you want to come in and do some list hygiene, which means removing people from your list or blacklisting certain emails in advance to ensure that no problematic people get added to your subscriber lists. And a lot of times your email autoresponders will have their own built-in systems for that. Another important one here is statistics. So this is really good to monitor so that you see the health of your list building over time, and this will give you information on how your growth is. That's sort of the main thing that you're looking at here, as well as what types of signups you are getting. So for example, if we were to switch the date here to the last 2 months, you'll see a lot more data here, and what we'll see is that pretty much our entire list came through API integrations with third-party platforms. So in this case, most of these people came onto our list by purchasing a product, and we had an API integration with our billing or our purchasing platform. So there's plenty of analyzing to do and plenty of searching that you could do inside of the contacts section. Let's move on now. Let's come back to the dashboard. We're going to move on to the email marketing section, okay? Now, email marketing is divided into actual real-time newsletters that you type and you send out or you schedule to go out later, or autoresponders, which means things that are automatically sent out in sequence based on a point in time from when someone joins your list, okay? So first, let's go over newsletters. If you wanted to create a newsletter, you would do that once again in real time. You could use your drag and drop email editor. Is an HTML option if you are sort of a coder and you know what you're doing in that area. However, it's recommended that you just use the drag and drop builder, and pretty much every autoresponder platform out there has one of those. You could choose a template here and then just go with it and create your email message that way. Now, in another module, we'll go over actually creating the email messages. That's not really what we're going for right now. We'll come back to the dashboard, back to email marketing, and let's talk about the difference between newsletters and autoresponders. So autoresponders, this is where you would come inside of GetResponse to set those up or to monitor those. As you can see, you've got statistics here. Keep in mind, the statistics here are not for a single broadcast. Autoresponders are based on the individual who joined your list. So from the moment that they joined, your autoresponder sequences are set up to send them an email the next day and the next day and the next day. And the cumulative performance of each of those autoresponder messages can be viewed here in the statistics columns, but it's not the same as checking out the statistics for a single broadcast, okay? And basically what you would do is you'd come up with an autoresponder name, and you would choose what list it applies to, and you would choose, it's recommended that you choose the same time they signed up. Because based on the person's day-to-day schedule, the only one time that you can be sure, or almost sure, that they will definitely be at a computer is the time that they were at a computer when they signed up. Okay, so that sort of makes logical sense. So it's recommended that you choose time they signed up, but you've got some other options here as well. And choose days of the week. And right here for this message, if we wanted it to go out immediately after they signed up, for example, if we want to immediately deliver a lead magnet after they opted in for a lead magnet, like a free report or something, we would set this to day 0, okay, and it'll go out immediately, okay? But for subsequent days, so the next day would be day 1, we recommend that you stick with same time that they signed up. Again, this is GetResponse, but the process is usually the same for other email platforms that still have autoresponder sequences. And that's pretty much it for autoresponders. One note, don't get autoresponders confused with automation, which is what we're going to be looking at momentarily. Let's come over here to drafts. And drafts are pretty self-explanatory. If you're in the middle of creating an email and you don't quite get it finished, you can save it as a draft or just save it in case your computer shuts down or something. All of that will be found here. You can grab these and pick up right where you left off and send those, okay? So now let's come back to the dashboard. And the final part of the email marketing equation is automation. Now this is different from autoresponder sequences. Autoresponder sequences are kind of just, you know, cut and dry, day 1, day 2, day 3, etc. There's no customization. There's no adaptation based on behavior. The whole idea behind automation is creating workflows that change and adjust themselves based on the behavior of your subscribers. It gets pretty in-depth. It's a pretty nifty tool to have. You would basically come over here to click Create Workflow to create one, and we'll do that in another module. Or what you could do is come over here and mess with an existing one or check out the performance of an existing one. So that's pretty much it for the basic overview of the basic functionality of email autoresponders. Again, I know I've beat this dead horse a few times. Keep in mind, terminology may be different, but functionality is pretty much the same no matter what email autoresponder service you're using. Now let's move on to the next module where we're going to get more into the actual emails themselves.
Okay guys, welcome to Module 1. In this module, our expert will be teaching you about planning and choosing your funnel type. So get ready to take some notes and let's jump right in.
Okay guys, so we'll be using ClickFunnels for this training since it's arguably the most well-known and widely used platform out there. The first thing we're going to do is have a look at all the different kinds of funnels there are to choose from, and then we'll plan our own. As you can see, there's no shortage of types of funnels you can build. We've got invisible funnels, which consist of content being delivered first and then asking for payment on the next page if they liked it. Not many have heard of that one. We've got video sales letter funnels that are heavily reliant on sales videos. We've got lead magnet funnels where you're offering something for free in return for an email opt-in. We've got reverse squeeze page funnels, which deliver content first and then ask for an email opt-in, yet another unique type. We've got the two-step tripwire that allows you to pitch a low-ticket offer followed by upsells. We've got the bridge funnel where you collect a lead and then move them onto another funnel like an affiliate offer. We've got a sales letter funnel, a more traditional funnel consisting of long-form sales pages. We've got auto webinar and live webinar registration and attendance funnels, great if you're selling high-ticket items. We've got hero funnels that really stress your personal brand. Survey funnels, where you can learn more about your visitors and then redirect them to an offer based on their answers. Ask campaign funnels, a trending type that helps you figure out what your audience wants. Homepage funnels, which are meant to sort of mimic the role of traditional websites, but funnel people into your offers. Application funnels are great for qualifying potential coaching or high-ticket service clients. Daily deal funnels are all about getting new customers with irresistible offers. Membership funnels designed to sell products and get people into your members areas. The product launch funnel, a series of video pages designed to prep people for a big launch by the end, pioneered by Jeff Walker, of course. Live demo funnels are great for showcasing and demoing your products or services. Storefront funnels designed to mimic the look and feel of an e-commerce store before funneling people through to your core offers. Summit funnels, perfect for getting big names together in one online event. Cancellation funnels, a great way to try and keep people from jumping ship, as well as learning why they wanted to. And the squeeze page funnel, an opt-in funnel that leverages the power of ultra minimalism and curiosity to get opt-ins. Now, if you're overwhelmed, don't worry. You don't need to worry about the vast majority of these yet. If you're just starting out with funnels or just starting out with business online in general, there's only a handful you really need to worry about. At the end of the day, it depends on what you have and how you want to give it to the world. So, do you have a book, an ebook? Do you have a video course? Do you have knowledge that could easily be turned into a book or a video course? Do you have a high-ticket offer that you want to sell via a long webinar presentation? Of the things you have, do you want to give one of them away for free for the sake of lead generation? Which one? For our purposes, I think we'll say we're going after the most accessible and common scenario. We have a free gift, and we have a product we want to charge money for. Now for that type of funnel, I'm actually going to click up here on Classic Funnel Builder. I'll click Sell My Product, and I'll choose the good old-fashioned sales funnel. I'll give it a name, and I'll hit Build Funnel. But before we actually get into that, before we start designing the funnel, we need to start figuring out, of the things we have, what do we want to give away for free, and what do we want to sell? That's all part of crafting and splintering, which is what we're going to cover in the next module.
All right, welcome to Module 3. In this module, our expert will teach you about one-on-one recruiting, which is vital if you want to get bigger name affiliates on board. So get ready to take some notes and let's jump right in.
All right, guys. So in this lesson, we're going to be tackling one-on-one JV recruiting. So you actually proactively going out there and tackling these guys and trying to get them one-on-one. Now, the best way to start doing that is going to be to figure out who in your niche are the top dogs. Who do you want on your, what we'll talk about later is called a headhunter's list. And I personally like to always start with leaderboards. I go look for a previous launch that ended at some point in the last several months, and I go find their leaderboards. So this is for one called Commission Magnets. And what do you know? Right at the top, we've got John Thornhill and Dave Nicholson. So I immediately, as a vendor, know that, hey, wow, these guys can move some traffic. These are people who I want to reach out to. So what do I do next? I come on over here to a spreadsheet, which is my headhunters list. And I basically start compiling a list of the big name affiliates who I want to reach out to. So I'll go ahead and put John Thornhill's name in there. And the first thing I do is I start Googling and Facebooking John Thornhill to see him and to find him and see what he's all about. Now, in this case, he happens to be in my network. We're friends, so I can reach out to him with a message. So what I'm going to do is grab the Facebook URL for John, and I'm going to put it next to him right here. Okay, so basically we have name, contact info, and status. All right. Status will be blank until I reach out to him. And then, if I reach out to him, I'll just update this as message sent. And if he replies and says, maybe I'll get back to you, I'm going to put that right here. And I'm going to have a whole long list of names right here that I compile from researching who the big names are in my niche, finding out where they are and how I can contact them and reach out to them. Okay? And then keep track of how it's going. All right? For your first launch, you should go all guns blazing and get as big of a headhunters list as you possibly can. Now, When you finally reach out to someone, you need to do it in a very thoughtful manner. You can't just say, hey man, will you promote my launch? That's actually a running joke in the industry. All right, the hey bro, will you promote my launch? All right, you have to be a little bit careful about how you word it. Now, there's a couple of extremes. There's some people who actually enjoy when you pretend that you want to be their best friend. So you spend a week making small talk with them. How are you? How are things? Great to connect with you. And then you go and you like their posts on Facebook, even if you don't actually like them. You like their posts on Facebook. You comment on their posts. You try to build some, basically fake rapport. There's other people who have more of a realist and pure business approach, who prefer that you just come straight out and say that you have a product launch that you want them to look at. And they don't like the fake friendliness. And then there's a middle ground, where some people think that you should establish some type of relationship beforehand and maybe offer something in advance, rather than, on the one hand, pretend to be a friend, or on the other hand, just come straight out and say, hey bro, promote my launch. Okay, so there's two extremes, and then there's the sort of middle ground where things are a little bit more gray. And what we're going to do is this. We're going to do a very soft pitch, a very soft exploratory message first, asking if it's okay to bug them with a JV invite. Hey John, any chance I can bug you with a JV invite for an upcoming launch? I think it would be a great fit for your list and would love if you could have a quick look when able. We'll send that. Hopefully he replies. If he doesn't, you can follow up another way later on. If he does and says, sure, send it over, you reply something like this. Great, thanks. Basically, it's a product that XYZ. Tell him about the product. I think your audience would like it because, sell him on the idea. Here's the JV page. Send them to your JV page. Plenty of swipes and promotional materials to make use of there. Let me know what you think. Now, if you're just starting out, you're probably not going to get a reply after that. It's not because they hate you. It's just the way the world works. They're busy. They've got a lot of things going on. You're not at the top of their priority list, so you might not hear back. So you'll probably have to follow up, and here's how you follow up. Hey, John, just following up here in case you've had a chance to have a look. What would it take to get the great John Thornhill on this launch? Can I offer you 65% on the main OTO? That's how you ought to be doing it. Offering something in return for them promoting your launch. Offering something special. If they're top-tier affiliates, hey, who cares if you have to give away 75% on one of the OTOs and 100% on the front end? You're getting a top-tier affiliate on your launch. Okay, so be willing to do that. But this is probably the best exploratory approach to take when cold calling, if you will, someone about a JV invite and an upcoming product launch. Now, depending on what the answers were there, I could update status and say, thinking about it, right? And then the goal here is to eventually have one long list of JVs who you are headhunting, trying to get on your launch, and over the course of about a month, you want to start about a month prior, like we talked about in the previous lesson when you're posting your launch on those notification and launch notice boards. You want to start about a month prior, and you're going to spend a month doing the grueling work of working with these guys on your headhunters list, following up with them, updating them as you get closer to the launch, reminding them to have a look, offering them incentives. Hey, can I reciprocate? Hey, can I put a bonus that leads to one of your free products, to one of your lead pages in my members area? Hey, can I stick your products in my autoresponder for day 2, 3, and 4 after people buy? That sort of thing. Put a little bit of yourself out there, offer to do something in return so that they see more value in helping you out. And if you do that right, hopefully you'll have some success with one-on-one affiliate recruiting. But be prepared. When you're first starting out, depending on what niche you're in, be prepared. You're going to get a lot of cold shoulders. That's just part of life. Don't let it get you down. Just keep moving forward. Trade up the ladder. You might only get low to mid-level affiliates on board for your first launch, and then your second product launch, you'll get some higher ones out there because your brand has more recognition now. That's just sometimes the way it works. So keep your chin up throughout the whole process, keep hustling, trying to get those affiliates on board, and you'll be all right.